We realize that we're kind of put here to create that digital credit, and that digital credit is then the stepping stone to the final thing. And the final thing is digital money. And the idea of digital money is not 10% dividend yield with a 10 vol. It's 8 or 7% yield with a 0 vol. Right? What if I give you a bank account that pays you 7 or 8% with 0 vol? You put $99.71 in, you get $99.71 out, but until you take the money out, you get 4% more than the risk-free rate and the currency that you live in, right? That is the perfect product. I submit to you, well, I used to think the iPhone was the perfect product, but the iPhone, you got to actually be able to hold it and look at it, and you got to be awake, or maybe be able to hear, or be able to see. But, you know, a bank account that pays you 8% or 7%, you could be deaf, dumb, blind, in a coma, unborn child. You still want that. You want that for your heirs not born for 20 years, right? So what is it that everybody on earth wants, right? And you know, in the English language, there's a word for what everybody on earth wants, for universal utility, and the word is money, right? You want money, okay? When I give you a bank account that pays you double what SOFR pays you, if I give you double the money market, or if I give you, you live in Japan, and I give you 6% or 8% in yen, I'm literally just giving you free money, okay? I know it sounds difficult. It is difficult. It's like building nuclear reactors in order to give you free electricity or 1 penny a kilowatt hour electricity. It's hard, right? You basically have to create a layer of digital capital, not our doing. Then you have to create a layer of digital credit. It takes a lot of equity capital, right? We have 60 billion now. We'll probably have the most digital equity capital in the world forever at this point, because no one's going to catch us on this network. And if you have that credit layer, the last layer, digital money, can be created by partnering with a bank or a money manager. Like you just basically go to a large bank or a BlackRock or a Vanguard or the likes, and then you create 80% credit, 20% cash equivalents, put a 10% buffer of currency reserves on top of it to strip the last vol each day. And you have just put shock absorbers on the credit, and the credit is, of course, sort of like damped, volatility stripped, risk stripped capital, right? And that's the 3-step process. So the day I realized why I was here is I realized we're here to fix the money, right? We're here to give 1 billion people a bank account that pays them 8%, when the rest of the world wants them to take nothing, right? In Switzerland, nothing, right? In Japan, nothing. In Europe, 1%. In the US, about to be 2.5%. When the Fed lowers SOFR to a 2 handle or something, you will be getting 2%. And the actual increase in the monetary system is like 7% a year for 100 years. So if you don't beat 7%, you're just getting poorer in relative basis. And right now, the only way for the average person to beat that is to gamble. You have to gamble on equity. You have to guess. And I'm of the opinion, when you're a 70-year-old retiree, you shouldn't have to gamble. You shouldn't have to gamble on equity. It's not right, right? The entire world somehow decided that capital was buying the S&P index, right? You have to buy a portfolio of equities. And what about just giving people a savings account that actually preserves their wealth, and they don't have to gamble on equities or the like? And so that's what we're here for, right? We're digitally transforming the credit markets, but the big idea is fix the money in the world, and fix the money with technology.
Amen.